stop. Consider hiring a professional roofing contractor. Ladders and roofing are very dangerous activities. Okay, today we're going to repair a roof leak in a shingle roof, and we don't really know exactly where the leak is coming in, but we have a general idea. So the first step in determining or finding or attempting to find the leak is to identify a starting point. And the best thing to do is mark it either with a crayon, a piece of chalk, or even a rock. So I'm just gonna mark a tab with a rock, and that's where we're gonna start. I'm gonna put that rock underneath the shingle as soon as I get it open. Couple of things that you're going to need: a hammer, some roofing nails, a flat bar, and some roofing cement. Probably better to get a can in this instance rather than in a tube. You're probably going to use much more than what's in a tube. So the first thing you really want to do is start getting some tabs up. Let's start with that first one and get our mark in place. So now we've marked the center, or what we're calling the center, and we're going to go ahead and lift up however many tabs we think we need to. In most cases, if you go just a couple of feet in either direction, that's what's going to eliminate that area. And in the future, you can continue working your way outward depending on the direction you think the leak is in. Keep in mind, this is just a repair. We're just trying to get the leak to stop so that it doesn't leak inside and continue rotting the wood. In most cases, this is going to stop the leak permanently. The first thing we want to do before we do anything is inspect the area. We're going to look at the general area that we've identified to see if there's anything obvious. Obvious things to look for are the roofing nails that were used to put the shingles on. If any of those are poking through the shingles, those are readily visible on the surface. The second thing is any decking nails that may have pulled up through the shingles. The only thing that I saw in this area was that tab over there, 3 rows up and 1 tab over from where I marked that one. That one's lifted up a little bit. There's probably some kind of a high nail in there. Yeah, there's a high nail. Is that my problem? I don't know. So let's look at it. There's a high nail there. Is that my problem? I don't know. But we're going to eliminate it so it won't be a problem after we leave here today. That's the only thing I saw. So now I'm just going to work my way out. I'm going to go, each tab is a foot. So if I go 3 tabs that way and 3 tabs that way, I will have covered 7 feet wide. Each row is approximately 5 inches. So every 2 rows is approximately a foot, just shy of a foot. 4 rows would easily be almost 2 feet. So if you just count the rows, you can get an idea of where you stand as far as going a couple of feet in either direction. So in this case, the keyways don't line up, so I'm not exactly sure. I'm just going to get an idea. We're just going to go ahead and lift some tabs and get started and see what's under there. When you're doing this with the flat bar, you really want to be easy with it. If it doesn't come easy, stop. Go at it from a different direction. You can take short jabs at it. Sometimes that pops it loose. Another thing is to do it when it's a little bit cooler outside. When the warmer it is, the stickier the adhesive is, and it doesn't want to just pop up. But in the morning, usually it's nice and cool and it'll pop up for you real good. So just take your time, get the shingle up first. Once you get it up, it's probably not going to stick back to itself right away. So we're 3 there. 3 there. So I've got the center row out. I'm going to go ahead and go up 4 rows, and I'm going to go down 4 rows. Now for the down, you can see I put a couple of rocks, so I have my area somewhat mapped out already. One more row. So now we want to methodically work our way up. So we're just going to start at the bottom and work each tab and just look at each tab and make sure that we eliminate that row as a suspect. First thing we can do is hit down any nails or get them nice and flat. You can pull them, you can put new nails in to get it nice and flat, and then you're going to seal it with roof cement. I'm going to do the first row and then I'm going to explain how to do it with the roof cement. Okay, I went ahead and did 2 rows. Found a couple of nails. Nothing major, nothing that I think was the problem. So what we're going to do is we're going to seal those 2 rows and eliminate any possibility for those 2 rows to be leaking. So you want to get some of that on a trowel or something flat that you can scrape with. And what we're going to do is we're going to put a little bit over the nail. You don't need to pile it up. It just needs to be on there and seal it however you have to do it and however long it takes. Then we're going to seal up the seam. Right here's a seam in the shingle where 2 shingles meet. We want to seal that all the way up under here and here. There's no reason to seal the whole thing unless you're gluing a tab back on. The water gets under here a little bit, so you want to seal it to here and then seal the 2 nails, and that's all you need to do. There's not going to be any holes in the shingle unless you see it. But I'm going to start, that's the first row there, so I'm going to start over here so I don't have to, I'm just going to seal the nail. I'm going to look around, stick that down, seal the nail again. So now I've come to a seam. I'm going to seal the seam all the way up. I'm going to seal that nail. Another thing with the roof cement is to put a dab at each corner to rejuvenate the adhesive. That one's done. Another seam here, so we're going to seal it from the up underneath the other shingle. Okay, that row's done. Oh, yeah, I already hit that down. So that nail's sealed, that nail's sealed. That nail's sealed. Get something to mark where you're at. And what we're doing, we're just eliminating these items as suspects. Don't really want to pile up that roofing cement too much. So there's 2 rows. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more rows to go. So I'm going to go ahead and duplicate what I just did. Some people think you got to put the roof cement on the top and seal these keyways, but truthfully, the problem more than likely lies in this area. Whenever there is a problem, of course, unless you can see it. This is how you eliminate it, and the roof still is going to look okay, and you'll never really know that the roof was repaired unless you're ripping the shingles. If you find that you start ripping the shingles, then either you're not doing it right, it's too hot, or the shingles are just way beyond repair. see that nail is pretty close there. So if that was loose, a loose nail, water is going to get there. That's a good suspect right there. These nails here too are pretty close. This is just a common thing when you're slamming shingles. Very easy to drift. And again, all we're doing is, this is a little leak. We're just trying to eliminate suspects, eliminate an area. Okay, that was our last row. So we're finished with this row. Nope, we're finished with this row. Okay, so that row we need to continue on. Alright, we're just gonna find our way here. There's a seam, we're going to go all the way to the top of that and get underneath that other shingle, go all the way down to where you can just barely see the roof cement. First we eliminate any holes, then we put some stickum. There's another seam, gonna go to the top. Right there at the bottom, seal the nails. You can get roof cement in 1 gallon cans. This is a 5 gallon can that I have. So if you had found any loose nails before you put the roof cement, is a good time to put those in. Okay, take my mark out there. Now I know where I'm at least. Again, the first thing you want to do is seal up the nail holes or any other holes you might find. The second thing is to put a little bit to replace the adhesive that was there. It doesn't take much. Just keep going until you don't have any more that's stuck up or that you pulled up. Because now's the time. And tonight when the rain comes, you can test it. Whenever I have extra, I just put it on the next one over, get rid of some of it. As you can see, sometimes it comes out from beyond the shingle. It happens. You want to try to limit that as much as possible. Sometimes you can take it up while it's still fresh. Sometimes you can scrape it up. And sometimes it's just going to have to stay there. When you're doing a lot of it like this, you're probably going to get some. Just go to the gutter or get some, sweep the roof a little bit, get a few granules, just lay them on top of there. And it will be okay for the time being. Your choices are limited. See, if you go methodically, you can see right where you're at, because once that tab goes down, everything looks the same again. There's some rust on it now. I think we're there. Now this is where a lot of people get in trouble. As you can see, I just walked over a couple of these places, so make sure you check your shoes before you go in the house. Okay, so now you see we sealed this area up. Sun will come out, flatten a lot of this stuff out. Anything that's really out there, we can go ahead and flatten out now. If you take a little piece of chalk or something, you can mark the tab to the left, you can mark the tab to the right, the top row, the bottom row, just to know where you're at. Maybe next time the chalk will still be there, but it won't be so apparent that you can see it from anywhere. And if it persists, if the leak persists, you can take it up, take it down, take it to the left, take it to the right. There's a lot of homes where you can't access the attic. The roof is a low slope. You just can't get to it to see it and see right where it's coming in. And also, oftentimes, even right where it's coming in may not be the hole, right where the hole is on the roof.